Hello everyone and welcome to Microsoft Access Lab 1. To get started with this lab, you need to open Access Lab 1 instructions file. I will go ahead and do the same thing. In this lab, you should learn how to use Access naming convention, how to create an Access database, how to create a table. And you will know the difference between design and datasheet view, and how to input data in a table. So to get started with this lab, you need to open a blank desktop database. So I will go ahead and do the same thing. In the Metro view, I will type Access and then click on Access 2013. If you see here, I have blank database. Please watch out when you open a blank database. If you click once, it will give you a chance to rename your database and choose the location before you create it. But if you double click on it, it will give you a default name, which is database, and it will put it in the default location directly. So I will close Access again, and then I will open it one more time. And in this scenario here, I'm going to click on it once and then call the database Access Lab 1, and then I will choose the location to be Microsoft Access Labs. If you don't have this folder, you need to create a new folder that is called Microsoft Access Lab, as we usually do, to be organized. And then make sure that the file name is Access Lab 1 and then click OK. Now look at the location. It's inside Documents, Microsoft Access Labs, and then click on Create. Alright, now once you have a database, by default Access will give you a default table by the name Table1. Let's read the instructions and see what we need to do next. We already named the file as Access lab1.accdb. The default name or the default extension for Access is accdb if you are using Access 2013. Alright, now it says here change the view to design view. So looking at this view here, this is called the datasheet view. This view here is called the datasheet view. And if you need to change the view, if you click on this down arrow here, it will give you two views, either datasheet view or design view. If you are in the datasheet view, you can go direct to design view by clicking on this icon here, and it will ask you to save the table, or you can click on this down arrow and then choose design view, same thing. Call the table TBL. So since this is a table, we will have an abbreviation before it, which is TBL, short for table, and then the name of the table, which is sales person, and I will go ahead and click OK. So now it says here you need to create the following fields after you save the table. Alright, first field is salesperson ID. So I will go to this ID here. Instead of only ID, I will call it salesperson ID. The data type is auto number, that's correct. And then I will create a first name. Tab, you press tab to go to the second box, and then the data type is short text. Tab again, and then last name, and then tab short text, that's correct, and then phone, and then tab short text, that's correct. Someone will ask me, why do you have short text data type for phone number? Good question. A phone, sometimes you need to add dashes between the first three digits, right? So if you add dashes, you need to have text, right? But if you have dashes and you have a data type as number, Access will reject this input. So now date hired, and then tab, this will be date and time. If you don't see the down arrow, you need to maximize, or maybe you can leave it as is, but you need to drag the right edge a little bit here so you can see the down arrow here, like that. So you have both of them, and then click on this down arrow and then choose date and time. Alright, now I will click on the field below it to create a new field, which is a field for salary, and then tab and the salary is going to be currency. If I type C on the keyboard, it pops up currency without having to click on this down arrow. Tab again, and then after salary I need to add sales amount. So I will go ahead and add sales amount here, and sales amount is going to be what? It's going to be currency. And then I will go to the field below it, which is city, and then that's short text, and then state, and then let me fix state here. That's short text as well, and then after it state zip code, and then tab, and that is going to be number. I will press N on the keyboard. That will give me the data type I need. Perfect. Right, now after you add these values, it says here it changed to the datasheet view. So you will need to change to the datasheet view and create the following records. When you go to the datasheet view here, it will ask you to save. So you need to first save your table. If I click no and then save first, and then it changed to the datasheet view, that will take me direct to the datasheet view. And then you need to input the records as shown in the instructions file. I already inserted these records, and for the sake of the time, I will just copy it from where I have it, and then I will paste it. So I will go ahead and copy what I have in here. 1 second. I will copy that, and then I will go to here. By the way, if you need to input in your scenario, you don't have data to copy, so you need to input the records one by one. To enter the first record, it says here in the salesperson number 1. So since salesperson is an auto number, so I will go to the design view one more time, and then I look at salesperson. The data type for salesperson is auto number. What does that mean? It means that Access will give me a default value that will uniquely identifies this row. So I don't have to put anything in here because Access will add it for me. So please don't make this mistake. You leave this. Why? Because I said the data type is auto number, so I don't have to add a value in here. I start from first name. So this only applies if the data type is auto number, but first name is short text, so I need to add here John. And look, once I type John, you get the sales person ID automatically, and you keep adding these values, and you press enter or tab after you finish each one. All right, so I will go here, and then I will delete this record because I don't need it. I need to paste what I copied, and that will give me all of the records. This will be alright. So now I added all of the records, and I expect you to do the same thing, and then save, and then it changed to design view again. This is correct. Change to datasheet view, and they should have 6 records as shown. Okay, I will do that one more time. I will delete everything from here. Alright, and then I will paste it one more time, so you see exactly what I am doing. And in your scenario, you should have value number 1, value number 2, value number 3, and so on. Alright, so do you see this here? You need to fill this information step by step. So now going back to create tab on top, it says here create a new table, and so I will go to create tab and then click on table, and then it changed to design view. So I will change to design view and save the table as TBL customer, and then click on OK. Alright, and then create the following fields in the table customer. So in here I need customer ID, and then this will be short text. Alright, do I have a yellow key beside customer ID? Yes. What does it mean? This means that this is a primary key. So, and then I will add another field that is called company, and then that short text as well, phone, and then that short text. Let me scroll down here and look what we need to add for this section. I need to add city, and then I need to add make sure that the data type is short text. I need to add state as well. Data type is short text, and then zip codes. And the data type in this scenario is going to be number. So now, once you do that, make sure that customer ID is a primary key. So you go look at the box beside customer ID, make sure that you have the yellow key. If you don't have it, you click on the primary key. Look, so now I don't have it. To make it a primary key, the yellow key has to be visible as you see beside customer ID. Save the table, and then change to datasheet view, and you will need to add the following values in the datasheet view. So please make sure that you enter this value. In this scenario, customer ID, do I fill it or do I leave it empty? To have access automatically fill it for me, you go look in your design. What is customer ID? Customer ID is short text, so that means that I need to provide a value, input the value myself. So I need to go to datasheet view here and keep adding here BSG101 and continue by pressing enter or pressing a tab key on the keyboard. In my scenario here, I have this data already, so I will go ahead and copy the data and paste it, but in your scenario you will need to input it step by step. As you can see here, I have my data in the table and I have 5 records. Then I click on save and upload this file to Blackboard. Thank you everyone, and I'll see you in future labs.